Hello students, I am Dr. Minakshi Maur, Assistant Professor, Zoology, Sri Savyaji Government College, Mandvia, Chittorgarh. Today my topic is nephron. What is a nephron? Nephron is also known as uriniferous tubule, and this are the functional unit of kidney. In human being, there are about 1 to 1.5 million nephrons in each kidney. And each nephron is a coiled tube which is held together by a tough fibrous connective tissue. Now, what is the function of nephron? The main function is to form urine, but other functions uh, are to filter blood from all its impurities. Then it helps in regulating blood pressure. It has important role in controlling electrolytes and it regulates blood pH. So these are the actual blood filtering units which helps in the formation of urine. Now types of nephron. So on the basis of their position, that is location in the kidney and the length of Henle's loop, there are two types of nephrons. First is cortical nephron and the second is juxtamedullary nephron. So first cortical nephron, these are present in the cortex region of the kidney. Means they start high in the cortex but doesn't penetrate deep into the medulla. It comprises 85% of the nephrons in human body. They have a characteristic short Henle's loop. Under normal conditions, when water amount is adequate in blood of the human body, these nephrons helps in controlling blood volume. Then second is juxtamedullary nephron. They comprises the rest 15% of the nephron in the human body. They are present at the junction of cortex and medulla of the kidney. Means they start low in the cortex near the medulla. They have a characteristic long Henle's loop. These nephrons under water scarce condition helps to increase water retention. They are found only in birds and mammals. Now, the structure of the nephron. A typical cortical nephron is a microscopic tubular structure. Actually, it is modification of tubule, which is attached to the collecting duct. The tubule is known as nephronic tubule, and its lumen is known as tubular lumen or nephronic lumen. It consists of following parts. So, first is renal or Marfan corpuscle. It consists of Bowman's capsule and glomerulus. Then second is proximal convoluted tubule, that is PCT. Then third is Henle's loop, which has two limbs, descending and ascending limbs. Then distal convoluted tubule, that is DCT. Then fifth is collecting duct. So in kidney, both the renal capsule and the renal tubule are located in the cortex, but the collective tubule is found in medulla only. So I show all these parts in this diagram. So first is a renal or Marfan corpuscle. So this is a renal or Marfan corpuscle. It comprises of Bowman's capsule. This is a cup-shaped structure. It's a Bowman's capsule, and this one is glomerulus. Then second is a proximal convoluted tubule. So this is a proximal convoluted tubule. Its short form is PCT. Then Henle's loop. So this is a Henle's loop. It is the descending limb of Henle's loop, and this is the ascending limb of Henle's loop. Then this is the distal convoluted tubule, that is a DCT, and this is a collecting tubule or collecting duct. Now I'll explain each part in detail. So first I'm going to explain renal corpuscle or the Marfanogen tubule. So Bowman's capsule is also known as glomerular capsule. It is a double-walled cup and that surrounds the glomerulus. It is made up of visceral inner layer which is formed by specialized cells which are known as podocytes. This and the inner and the this is the inner the outer layer composed of flattened epithelial cells. So it has two layers: visceral inner layer which is formed of podocytes, and the outer is here. This is the outer one. So podocytes are less flattened cells and they help in the ultrafiltration of blood. They have a small foot-like processes called trabeculum and they help in the ultrafiltration of blood. And the outer layer has a flattened epithelial cells. Then this is a glomerulus. It is a network or tuft of filtering capillaries which is enclosed within a cup-shaped structure called Bowman's capsule. It is formed from two types of capillaries called efferent arteriole and afferent arteriole. What is the role of afferent arteriole? This is a afferent arteriole. This is the afferent arteriole. Actually, it brings blood into the glomerulus. And the function of efferent arteriole is to collect blood from glomerulus and take them away from the glomerulus. The glomerular blood pressure provides the force of water and solutes to be filtered out of the blood plasma and into the Bowman's capsule, and this process is known as ultrafiltration. So from glomerular capillary, ultrafiltration of blood takes place and the filtrate goes to the inner lumen of the Bowman's capsule while the remaining blood goes to efferent arteriole. So the main function of renal capsule, that is the Bowman's capsule and glomerulus, is to produce an ultrafiltrate by the process called ultrafiltration. And ultrafiltration is the first step in the formation of urine. And for this filtration, the endothelial wall of the glomerular capillary and the inner wall, that is a visceral layer of Bowman's capsule, together form a filtering membrane. So here is a filtering membrane through which ultrafiltration takes place. So filtering membrane is equal to endothelium of glomerular capillaries plus visceral layer of Bowman's capsule. Now second part is proximal convoluted tubule. It is a portion of nephron after the Bowman's capsule, and it goes through the cortex and finally opens into the loop of Henle. It is a secretory part of the nephron and it is aligned with the ciliated epithelial cells. It can be divided into like initial convoluted tubule, and this is the descending portion of the convoluted tubule. This is so here you can say this is the some like coiled, somewhat coiled, and this is a straight. It is a white lined tube with a layer of columnar epithelial cells, and it has a brush border or microvilli which increases the surface area of absorption. So the cells of PCT have a brush border or microvilli, and it increases the surface area of the cell for reabsorption of substances from the tubular lumen. So what is the main function of PCT? The main function is the selective reabsorption of substances like glucose, proteins, sodium ions, amino acids, water, a major part of electrolyte. So there takes place a tubular reabsorption. So it also secretes ions of hydrogen, ammonia, creatinine, and potassium into the filtrate through tubular secretion, and it also absorbs HCO3 from it. So this is a function of distal convoluted tubule. I have discussed all these points over here. Now, third is a Henle's loop. It is a long loop of nephron, and it is a posterior elongation of pars recta. What is pars recta? Actually, it is a small posterior part of PCT, which is straight, and it is known as pars rectum. This Henle's loop goes deep into the medulla. It has two portions, descending limb and the ascending limb. So descending limb is there is a tubular fluid filtration occur which descends downward, and it is this limb is very thin and permeable to water. In this limb there are the epithelial cells which are flat and of squamous type, but they do not have any microvilli or brush border. So in this type of cells there are very less number of mitochondria. Then second is the ascending limb. Ascending limb, it's the ascending part that runs parallel to the descending limb, but it is impermeable to water. So descending is permeable to water, but ascending impermeable to water. It helps to pump sodium out of the filtrate, and it increases the interstitial fluid concentration. And this filtrate with low salt concentration is passed to the distal convoluted tubule, which is the next part of the nephron. In both the limbs, the direction of fluid flow is opposite. Thus, these two, along with the blood capillaries, this is the blood capillaries, form a system which is called counter current system. I'm explaining again. These are the blood capillaries. So, in both this limb, the direction of fluid flow is a opposite. Thus, these two, along with blood capillaries, form a system which is known as counter current system. Now, what is difference between descending and the ascending limb of Henle's loop? So, descending limb is a very thin, but ascending is thick. In descending, the direction of fluid flow is downward, but in ascending limb, the direction of fluid flow is upward. Descending limb is permeable to water, ascending is impermeable to water. In descending limb, cells are flat and of squamous type, but in ascending, cells are of cuboidal type. In descending, number of mitochondria is very low, but in the cells of the ascending limb, the number of mitochondria is very high. So these are some differences between descending and ascending limb of loop of Henle. Now DCT. It is the last part, or it is the second last part of the nephronic tubule, which lies next to the glomerulus, and it's similar to proximal convoluted tubule, or we can say it is the posterior elongation of the ascending limb of the Henle's loop. It almost passes through the gap between afferent and the efferent arterioles. This part of the DCT is called macula densa. Here it is not clear. So actually this DCT comes very close to the Bowman's capsule. The DCT through the cortex and then continue as a connecting tubule and finally opens into the collecting tubule. The epithelial cells of distal convoluted tubule are cuboidal and they have very few microvilli. Now the last part is a collecting duct. It is a large duct which receives the tubular filtrate, which is now called as a urine, and it comes from many neurons, and it is associated with the collecting duct. The cells of collecting duct are very large columnar cells and they are permeable to water, but they don't have any brush border. Actually, the collecting duct is not a part of the nephron because there are so many nephrons which opens into the collecting duct. But for the purpose of explanation, I have included collecting tubule also. Some of the cells of the collecting duct have a numerous mitochondria, and those cells which have a numerous mitochondria are called dark cells. And many collecting ducts open into duct of Bellini, and many Bellini ducts open into the renal pyramid in the medullary region of the kidney. So this is about nephron, where I discussed renal capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule, and the collecting duct. Thank you.